The director of the Secret Service takes full responsibility for the Trump failure, but then refuses to resign. I'm not sure what to do with that. Anyway, we also have Houston, Texas. The city folk there are apparently attacking power repair crews, and some of them are saying enough. We also have a major dam failure in the outskirts of St. Louis. This is where they had all those emergency personnel, military personnel, all getting ready for a disaster. And just in the outskirts of that city, they have a disaster. Major evacuations underway. A U.S. senator convicted of receiving bribes. So not convicted of overstating something on paper, but rather for receiving bribes. And when you hear what kind of bribes, you'll be floored. I didn't know that you can take gold and Bentleys as a bribe, but apparently, if you're a Democrat, you can. But he has been convicted, and he is one of the very few senators in the history of this nation to ever be convicted of a felony. Insider reports from Secret Service on the rules of engagement have leaked out. These do seem to be confirmed, and they do seem to be from reliable sources, not 4chan or something else like that. And a new insane bill in California has forced Elon Musk to move SpaceX to Texas. That and a whole lot more on today's Poplar Report. This is all news except for one news-related update from you guys. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help people who have retirement accounts in stocks and bonds, other risky things like annuities, and transferring that over into safer assets like physical metals, physical gold, physical silver. If you want to find out more about that, there'll be a link at the end of the video to talk to Jonathan and his team. So we have this major dam breach in Illinois City, Illinois, which is in the St. Louis metro area. It's the Nashville, Illinois Dam, and it has been warned that it is in failure. It's being overtopped, and as of the last we've heard, it hasn't completely collapsed as of the shooting of this video, but that may be imminent. Evacuations are underway. Scott Air Force Base has been evacuated, and emergency personnel have been activated, as well as the Red Cross, because this is a major problem. We have reports of power crews being attacked in the Houston area. Some are now leaving before everyone's lights are on due to unsafe working conditions. What kind of unsafe working conditions, you ask? Well, 2 linemen are in the hospital after being given fentanyl-laced water in 2 separate incidents. Someone gave them a bottle of water. Thank you for helping us out. They drink the bottle of water and realized that it was laced with fentanyl going to the hospital. Some have been attacked physically. Vehicles have been attacked. There's video going around of a man with a iron bar going up to a power repair crew truck and smashing in the window and taking off the side view mirror. We have bomb threats. We have firearms being used to threaten line workers. We have people switching back on power while the crews are working on the lines. And you say, what? Why? Why would you want your power back on? Why are you attacking the power workers? Well, because if you're an entitled snob that lives in a city and votes for a certain political party, you don't like these kind of people who work for a living. And 2, you're upset that you haven't had power for 7 days. As if it's their fault. Not the storm that came through. Not the Democrat-run city that has let the power infrastructure to totally collapse. There were 2.7 million outages across the area. And as linemen say, generally that means 4 to 6 weeks to get everybody back on. And we're almost to the point where we're down to about 100,000 people still without power. And they're doing a remarkable job getting people turned back on. A lot of damage was done. and yet the linemen are doing fantastic work. But there's a whole bunch of them getting out there on TikTok as well as Twitter and sharing their experiences. And they're saying, I'm never coming back to Texas again. Next time there's a disaster in Texas, I'm not coming back. So this is how it is, friends. When you tolerate this in your communities, and this is happening in inner city communities where churches have been in massive decline. Inner city churches are just about gone. They are no longer forces for influence. They don't hold the communities together anymore. And now it's just Democratic politicians who just keep dividing people and getting them more and more addicted to substances and the gangs and all that kind of stuff. And so now we have linemen being cussed at, yelled at. And as one lineman put it, next time, figure it out yourself, because we're not coming back. That is a scary thing. Don't want to be around. You got to be careful about who you surround yourself with, right? Because if you surround yourself with ungrateful people who behave like this, you're going to find yourself in a world of hurt because you're going to be lumped in with them. A lot of channels like mine have been saying for years, get out of these cities, get out of these areas. If you're near these people, they will drag you down with them. And that's happening truly down in Houston, Texas right now. Most people in Texas, fantastic people. But in those cities, friends, we also have heavy flooding in Toronto. Thousands without power there due to the heavy rainfall. Goldman Sachs' Jordan Alliger has shared with, if you're rich enough, their clients at the highest levels, informing them that their supply chain congestion index is on the verge of rising from 2 to 3. Now, that's not in the red zone just yet, but it is noticeably getting more congested in the U.S. supply chain, which means it's harder and harder for businesses, factories to get what they need. This is the first time in the past 3 years that the supply chain congestion index is going to hit 3. And it is mainly driven by increasing container ship backlogs and soaring ocean container shipping rates. Can anyone say the Houthis? I've been telling you the Houthis and Yemen, this is important, this is causing problems, that you may not see these issues immediately, but they are going to cause more and more problems. We're experiencing those more as the days go by. And so we need to be careful. It looks like things are good on the store shelves for the most part out there, right? We're having issues here and there, but companies are having real problems getting the things that they need in order to manufacture the products that they're making. This is from one of the viewers on this channel, C. I listen to your reports every day. I live in southeast Wisconsin. I received some information from my son that I thought to relay to you. It makes a person go, especially now with the incompetency of the people who are supposed to be protecting President Trump. I'm not going to tell personal information about my son, but he is a reliable source. My son's second job has him in sales, and he was at UW Milwaukee recruiting for sales positions. Well, the Secret Service had a booth next to his, and the woman running the booth told him they couldn't find enough people that fit the qualifications to hire. Now, we've heard already the qualifications to be hired is that you had to be a woman. But that's just coming from the director of the Secret Service. I mean, is that really true? I don't know. But she said 1 out of 100 people can get hired, but they can't even find anybody to apply. They can't find people to fit the demographic to hire. Women, people of color, diversity. They don't want white people anymore. They don't want white men. They can't find people to fit the demographics to hire. This was at an international students' job fair. Now, if you were trying to staff this, the Secret Service, would you be like, I'm going to go to an international student's, like, as they say, I never knew Secret Service sets up booth at job fairs for a recruitment, but why at a international students fair? Don't you need to be born in America to be in the Secret Service? This is crazy to me that this is how they are trying to hire people. I always thought that the Secret Service hires directly from other departments, like military and those type of things. That they recruit people from other agencies and such, people with experience. But apparently they're trying to hire international students at job fairs, and apparently it's not going well. But if you want women and people of color to apply, well, it's hard road out there. Car repossessions are now surging 23% over the past year as Americans are falling behind on their car payments. This is from an article on Bloomberg. All right, on to the director, Kimberly Cheadle, the director of the assassination squad, the Secret Service, claimed full responsibility for the failure to protect President Donald Trump. She explained the roof was too sloped, so it was left unmanned due to security concerns. Wow. I don't even know where to start with that one. Anyway, so it's apparently too dangerous for police and Secret Service to be up there, so they just didn't put anyone up there for safety concerns. Well, friends, one person perished because they didn't put anyone up there. You know, there's this stuff called like safety equipment. There's harnesses. There's ropes. There's safety gear for getting up on top of a roof. There isn't so much safety gear for being in a crowd while bullets are whizzing past you. Like, you know, and the things that you could wear, the Democrats want to ban those as well. Yes, so no resignation there. Libs are now in full meltdown over the dismissal of Trump's classified document case. We mentioned that yesterday. But meanwhile, the Democrat Senator Bob Menendez has been found guilty by a jury of 12 citizens. What is he guilty of? Of accepting cash, gold, and a Mercedes-Benz from foreign powers and shady businessmen as bribes. Yes, friends, he's the seventh sitting senator to be convicted of a federal crime. Yep. All the things that they accuse us of, they do. They say that we're a threat to democracy. And yet they're the ones trying to kick major people off, major candidates off the ballot. They say that we're intimidating voters, and yet they're out there cheating like nobody's business. Here's another one from Meta, which is Facebook, right? Meta announced that it was lifting restrictions on Donald Trump's Facebook and Instagram accounts to, quote, ensure that Trump, the presumptive Republican nominee for president, would have equal standing with the Democrat president, Joe Biden. Huh. Tell me that you're censoring without telling me that you're censoring. Well, we're going to remove all the censorship that we've been doing to Donald Trump on Facebook and Instagram, but we don't actually censor anyone on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, okay. You just said it out loud, friend. Said it out loud. Speaking of just infuriating stuff, Jack Black, the comedian and actor, an avid supporter of Joe Biden. He was just performing at one of Joe Biden's things a week or two ago. He is on tour in Australia. He's a hater of Donald Trump. He had a bandmate on stage express his wish for the next person that goes after Trump to not miss. in front of a crowd of over 1,000 people. Plus, Jack Black then laughed and thanked him. His tour has now been canceled as Australians are out there demanding that he be deported from their country for advocating the assassination of a ally. Yeah. They want to send him back to America. Australians, you can keep him. You can keep him and his whole band. Please, please do. University of Virginia professor said that the whole thing was faked on Saturday, that he did it just to win more votes. And they're not alone in making these wild, insane claims, for sure. MSNBC was worried about their anchors on Monday morning, so they took Joe Scarborough's Morning Joe off the air because they were going to have 22 different guests, and they're all like super liberal. I mean, it's MSNBC, right? And they were like, they're going to say something stupid and get us into a lot of trouble. We're going to just cancel the show. Well, Joe Scarborough, this morning, he is, let's just say, upset. He is very upset for being sidelined, and he is now threatening to quit. It's kind of funny, actually. Kind of funny. These liberals. A source within Secret Service community tells Real Clear Politics that the agency's rules of engagements in this situation are to wait until the president is fired upon to return fire. You want to take a shot, then find out that the guy was holding just a telescope? The Secret Service is by nature reactive, and you better be right when you do react or you're effed. The article from Real Clear Politics continued on. The Secret Service protocol requires that any counter snipers aware of potential shooters must radio directly to the intelligence division team to respond and investigate. In this case, the investigation may have been cut short by the shooter firing his weapon. So the counter sniper then fired as quickly as possible in return. The source praised the counter sniper who acquired the target and responded within 3 seconds, calling their performance incredible. We also hear a little bit more out there about why there were so few. I mean, why there was only one counter sniper team, why they didn't have enough agents, they didn't have enough personnel. Turns out that they diverted significant resources from Donald Trump to cover Jill Biden's event due to Trump being classed as only a former president. Not a major campaign, not a major potential president, but rather just a former president. So they basically tried stripping him down to the Secret Service level of President Obama or President Clinton or, President Bush. That's why they were so understaffed. Can't make this stuff up. Can't make this stuff up. On to something a little more interesting here, but it may be just as infuriating. Elon Musk has announced SpaceX is moving its headquarters from California finally to Texas in response to a new California law barring schools from disclosing gender surgeries to or medicines to parents. Gavin Newsom passed AB 1955 on Monday, which bars schools from informing parents when their child decides to change their gender, effectively stripping parents of their rights to know about gender transitions. When asked last year by Breitbart why parents shouldn't have the right to know about their children's gender transitions, Newsom said it wasn't worth discussing, suggesting instead that transgender kids' lives were in danger. Well, that's the news roundup we have for you today. Thanks so much for joining us. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold about what you can do with your retirement account, there's a link right there on the screen. You can just tap it and fill out your information, and they will get in contact with you. There's no obligation or anything like that. You can get your answers, and then you can move on. If you want to check out a new video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of The Poplar Report, out.